I remember the click of the notary's pen more clearly than his face. It was a sharp, precise sound, like a trigger being pulled. Her mother sat there with a smile that looked tight, practiced. My wife sat beside her, quiet, her eyes carefully blank. They slid the document toward me as if it were a wedding photo, except this wasn't a memory. It was a trap. I just think it's fair, her mother said sweetly, like cyanide in tea. Now that you're married, it's time to think about the future. Joint ownership. It's standard. But nothing about that day was standard. They didn't know I already knew. I met Lena in the spring. She smiled like someone who had never lied. That's how they get you. She was smart, magnetic, patient in all the right ways. We talked about books, plans, travel. She told me her family wasn't wealthy, but they were proud. She said they valued loyalty over money. I believed her. I believed every word. By the time we got married, I was convinced I had found something rare, something real. I never told her about the apartments. My grandfather had passed away 6 months before we met. A quiet man, wealthy in silence. He left me 3 flats, all in my name. I kept it hidden. I wanted love, not leverage. Then, 7 days after we signed the marriage certificate, her mother showed up, with a notary and a fake smile. The shift was subtle at first. Lena's questions about our finances became more specific. She asked about deeds, savings, what we were building. I kept my answers vague. That's when her tone changed, soft urgency turning brittle. One night, I pretended to sleep while she whispered on the phone. He hasn't said anything yet. Maybe he's hiding something. Mom, I'm being patient. Just give me a week. The voice I married sounded cold, calculating. That's when it clicked. This wasn't about love. It was about acquisition. I wasn't a husband. I was an asset. I didn't confront her. I watched, quietly, methodically. I restructured ownership of the apartments. I transferred one into a trust under my uncle's name, moved another into a holding company registered overseas. The third I refinanced so it appeared tied up in mortgage debt, even though I still held the keys. Then I got smarter. I hired a friend, a private investigator, to trace Lena's communications. What he found might have shattered someone else. For me, it sharpened everything. She had done this before. 2 years ago, another man. A short marriage, a fast divorce, a generous settlement. Her mother had orchestrated the entire thing. This was their pattern. Emotional fraud. Legal ambush. A family business. The morning of the confrontation, I dressed like I was heading into a war. Calm, polished, unreadable. I let them speak first. Her mother laid out the papers, claiming it was all about transparency. Lena kept her eyes down, playing the reluctant partner. I asked, why now? Lena gave a faint smile. Because we trust each other. I nodded slowly. Then I stood, walked to the safe, and pulled out 3 envelopes. Funny, I said, because I've been preparing for this moment for weeks. I handed each of them an envelope. Go ahead. Open them. Inside were legal documents, evidence, paper trails, copies of her past marriage records, PI photos of meetings with lawyers, recorded transcripts of phone calls. Every betrayal, signed and time-stamped. Her face lost all color. Her mother's mouth fell open in shock. You married a man, I said, but you underestimated him. Then came the final move. I turned to the notary. Would you please witness this? I slid forward my own document, one I had prepared weeks earlier. A separation of assets, legally binding, notarized, with her signature already lifted from a previous form. Perfectly legal. I'm also submitting proof of forgery, I continued, and attempted fraud. Conspiracy to manipulate a marriage for financial gain. Lena started crying. The notary stood frozen. Her mother muttered something under her breath in Arabic. "You came here to take what's mine," I said quietly. "But instead, you just handed me everything I need to destroy you in court." Then I stood up, calm. "You have 48 hours to leave my apartment. After that, my lawyer takes over, and I promise you, he's not as polite as I am." The fallout was immediate. Lena begged, apologized, claimed confusion, love, regret, but I was done listening. She left 2 days later. Her mother never came back. The notary sent me a brief message of sympathy, with no return address. Smart man. I filed for annulment, citing fraud. No contest. No alimony. I moved the last apartment into a new trust, one no one could ever touch. Sometimes, late at night, I replay that moment, the look on her face when she realized the trap she had set had already been dismantled. The truth about silence is that people mistake it for weakness. But I wasn't silent because I was blind. I was silent because I was calculating. They thought they had found a fool. All they really did was teach me exactly how far I could go when pushed. So here's my advice. Never play chess with someone who has been planning their next move since before you even showed up at the board.